All right, I'm back, folks. I could not remember or figure out how to do it off of Restream the way I wanted it to. So, yeah. So there we go. 6 minutes. I was trying to get everything set up, and sure enough, damn spammers like to come in. What, even 2 seconds after I started a live stream. So, and the weird thing is, I could have, I noticed something was up. When I had 10 viewers, I go, something's wrong with this nonsense. So, yeah, all you damn spammers can sit in the background and KMA. So, we got this thing going on. So, the White Friday thing, it's a joke because it's actually Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. So, if y'all know me, it's a joke. So, woot woot in the house. So, this is take 2. I had to shut the first one down because, I don't know, them spammers like to jump in. That's why we put on 20 minutes subscribers only. Because if we don't do that on a live stream, then them blood-sucking vampires just like to come in and they like to raise hell, as I like to say. So that's how I knew the first thing was wrong. I'm like, when the hell do I ever get 10 subscribers anymore? So yes, it's take 2. Not the first take, but hey, the first 6 minutes got me, I don't know, 30, 40 views already. And so there we go. So let's see. I'm trying to look for some stuff. Digging in some boxes. I found some stuff. I found me an old Saints shirt from, oh hell, I don't even know what year. I would assume it would be like 20. Let me see. That box, I haven't dug in that white box in almost 14 years. So we're in 2024. Yeah, about 2010. It just says South Division Champions. So I would place that somewhere around 2010. Or possibly it might even be the 2009. Well, no. Because then I would have the Super Bowl shirt, which I do anyway. Yeah, Elderberry, I put the subscribers only. Well, I was running it off a Restream. And I had it on a Twitch side. I've never had any problems with it. But I do remember my phone was messing up and going vertical, and that's what it was doing. And when it does that, I clicked on the YouTube side, and I'm like, I got 10 viewers already? And, of course, they would just type it in BWQR and all this weird shit. And I'm just like, stop spamming my channel, you morons. Go Chefs, by the way. I hope the Chefs won because I did not check the score. Barely. God damn it, I had the Chiefs defense, too, on my fantasy team. I picked up the Chiefs defense, and I started them today. I would have assumed that the Chiefs would have won 58-3. I mean, the Raiders are on their backup quarterback. I don't even know who the hell the Raiders got as a QB. Minshew went down for the season. Well, my opponent just happened to have Mahomes. This is the first year in the last 5 years I skipped Mahomes. Every other year in the last 5 years, I've had Mahomes as my starting QB. I passed on him this year because I wanted to get Lamar Jackson. Because Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow, like I always do, those are the top 2 quarterbacks. Mahomes isn't exactly playing up to Mahomes standards this year, but I sincerely hope that the Chiefs defense did not screw me over. I picked up 3 defenses this week. The Chiefs, I had the Vikings and I had the Bills. And I think I got rid of the Bills and I picked up the Steelers. But I only did that because, 19-17. Ah, shit. So they give up 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Okay, that probably means the Chiefs defense got me about a 3. which is not good. Doctor Who in the Bill. I knew as soon as I mentioned the Bills, Doctor Who pops in. That's just like boom. That's just like badoom, badoom, badoom. Better check the highlights. You know, I was going to watch the game and I fell asleep. I watched all 3 games yesterday. I usually don't watch any NFL games except the Saints. However, I was bored yesterday and had nothing to do, so I watched all 3 games. Dallas won somehow. The Bears choked the lead, and their coach got fired today. I'm just like, how in the ass did you do, like, literally, deliberately? The Bears coach deliberately just lost the game for him. Wouldn't even call timeout. Lets the clock run down to nothing. Well, they won. A win is a win. But I would have just guessed that they would have blown out the Raiders. But the Raiders are underdogs and have nothing to play for. So, I mean, that's when they're most dangerous. But, you know, it's crazy. It just is. Yeah. Well, hell, the Saints honestly shouldn't be 4-7. The Saints should have at least 8 wins. They let a few games go by. So, I mean, actually, there's a stat out there. The Saints have led pretty much for a while. The Saints have held the lead more in overall time than the Chiefs have. The only difference is the Chiefs actually played just a little bit better. You know, I'm telling you, though. I'm telling you, if Andy Reid, many people don't know this, but you know Patrick Mahomes was going to be the heir apparent to Drew Brees. Not a lot of people know this. And Andy Reid had to go fuck up and trade with the 49ers of all people. Well, I mean, the Saints lost 5 games down 10 points or less. And then 4 of those games, they were winning in the fourth quarter with less than 2 minutes left. So, I mean, honestly, instead of us having 4 wins, we should have at least have 8 by now. Maybe 9. You know, but yeah, I'm pretty certain ESPN, you start off at 10 and then you go down. So if they gave up 17, they're probably around 4 fantasy points. And my opponent did have Mahomes today. So that's another problem. And I was already down 35-12. My fantasy opponent had most of his team play either yesterday or today. So he's only got 3 players left. So that means that I got most of my team on Sunday. In one league, I'm 7-5. I'm in 4th place, which means I'm playoff eligible. The other league, I'm 5-7. I'm in 7th place. But if I win out, then the next 2, you know, then the next 2, I'll make the playoffs because the 2 people ahead of me, the 3 people ahead of me, I have a tie with 1. The other 2 I'm playing. So I control my own destiny. We play the Rams this week. Well, good. I need the Bills to beat the piss out of the Rams. They're ahead of us in the playoff standings. So we take care of the Rams this week. Y'all beat the shit out of the Rams next week. You know, I needed the Cowgirls to lose, and unfortunately, they actually won a game. I'm very disappointed. I wanted the Packers to lose, too, because that would have helped us in the playoff race. And, you know, and then I'll say this once again. Playoffs? It's unrealistic that we probably will, but hey, Atlanta has a history of choking. We play the Niners. I think we play the Niners next week. I know we play them in the last 6 games. We do play the Niners. I think we got to travel to Candlestick, though. Well, we'll see how hopeless they are. We play the Giants, too. But in all fairness, Y'all didn't have Danny DeVito as your quarterback. I think he broke his toe or something. Now the Saints did have trouble with Danny DeVito. Yeah, well, Daniel Jones wanted to be a playoff. He wanted to get in the playoffs. I was telling my former boss, I was like, watch him sign with the Cowgirls because Jerry Jones will give him a shitload of money. And because he's still got his contract. But the Giants, let me tell you, they fucked up. They literally they should have kept Barkley. I mean, that was the stupidest play in the world. That was the stupidest choice. They should have kept Barkley, paid him a shitload of money, got rid of his goddamn quarterback. Your team sucks ass, Elvis. I'm sorry. Y'all in third place. Trust me. Zanron texts me after every game and tells me that your team sucks, which I already knew. 2 minutes after the Lions game yesterday, he was like, boom, 11-1. Vikings suck. And I'm like, well, the Vikings aren't my team, but yeah, I kind of agree with you. But don't you worry here. It's very whatever. But yeah, we play the Rams on Sunday. I know we play the Niners, and I know we play the Giants. So that's 3 out of the last six games. We play Tampa again. I know we play Tampa again. And Atlanta's going to choke. Interesting. Well, that's what happens when you get a contract. The Vikings don't have 9 wins. I think they only have like 8. They're 8.5, technically. But, I mean, you go back to my videos from last year. I called the Lions winning the NFC North. I called it. I don't get credit for it, but I did call it. And it is what it is. Hey, but our interim coach is 2-0. I told you once we get rid of Dennis Allen, we're going to start on a playoff run. Because, and I'm pretty sure Zanron will agree with me on this. And if he doesn't, whatever. I know I'm right on this. Darren Rizzi is like Dan Campbell. Now, you can argue one way or the other, but special teams coaches make the best head coaches. Well, you and Zanron are going to have a battle in that case. I don't really care who wins out of the Bills and the Lions. That doesn't help the Saints' playoff run. Doesn't faze me one bit. But the better team shall win in that game. And whenever Zanron jumps in here, he can he'll tell you that his team will win. Because, say, he's got confidence in his team, and why the hell not? I mean, the Lions, for all intents and purposes, probably should have lost yesterday. I mean, they were up 16-0 at one point, or 17-0, and they came back and and the only reason they won is because the Bears head coach can't count. Well, let me explain. Former head coach, he should have took a timeout. He didn't. Yeah. But anyways, anywho, we got we got something going on with that. Turn on my there we go. Got that sucker going on. Put the heat on a little bit, because why not, right? So yeah. So there's a funny thing there. Oh. Let's see. What was I looking at here? Damn, it is cold in here. I think it's supposed to hit 33 degrees tonight. I feel it in here. My room, it's always hot, but I feel it in here. I think I actually see some frost out there. That's pretty amazing in itself. All right, let's see. Leftovers. Oh, I got some deviled eggs in here. I got 2 of those. Might as well eat those. Happy Friday, Daniel Berry. It's White Friday. Not to be Not to be confused with Black Friday, because I don't own the rights to Black Friday. However, I do have the copyright rights to White Friday, but I don't know what the hell snow is. Funny enough, I put a video up yesterday. There's a lot of these YouTubers that they're in the background, they're in the store, and music is playing. Okay? And none of these assholes get copyrighted. So I put up a video yesterday. I'm in a store. Immediately, within 2 seconds, I get a copyright notice. I'm like, what the? But I did forget the song that was playing in the background. Of course, it was a Swiftie song. Yeah. So we all know YouTube loves the Swifties. Apparently, the Swiftie Nation. Yeah. So I literally got hit 2 seconds after I posted the video. I had to take it down to avoid the copyright. And the thing is, I muted the video, and I had it muted, and they still detected the song playing. So I'm just like, okay. I watch all of these YouTube videos. They're in like Best Buy and other places. They got music in the background. Nothing happens to them. Nobody. It's perfectly fine. Or maybe they get hit with the copyright and it doesn't bother them. I don't know. So yeah, like within seconds, I had to take it down. And it was like a 3.5-minute video with me doing a tour of the building, of an empty building, basically. And I even had the sound off. But they still picked up the sound, because the music thing was still going. We didn't turn the music off, so it was still going. Yeah. So I deleted the video to avoid the copyright, which is good. So I didn't get hit with anything. But I bet you if it would have been like Hungry with the Wolf, Duran Duran, I wouldn't have got hit with that shit. The fact that I just happened to be recording a video and it just happens to be one of those, and it wasn't even a Swiftie song. It was a Swiftie song, but it was with that other dude. So no, I sold the forklift. I sold it to a Chinese lady for $300. She go, "Oh, I want to drive forklift," and I said, "Okay, let me jump on and I showed her how to drive the forklift." She go, "I'll give you $300." I'm like, "Well, it's got $1,000 per ton. I give you $300 right now." Okay, well, you can have it then. So in my whole thing, I pulled out. She pulled out. God forbid I pulled out. Well, I could have, but yeah. But yeah, I was actually driving a forklift, and I ducked, and yeah. So I ducked when I should have swerved. You know. So let's see. Yeah. I told it to somebody once, and they were like, "Ew, that's gross." And I go, "Well, shit. I'm like, it ain't my fault you can't catch." Hell. I was playing football, and I told the receiver, "Go long," and he goes, "That's what she said." And I said, "She keeps saying all these things." I'm like, "Good Lord." It's crazy. Anyhow. Let's see. What else do we have out there in football land? Cowgirls lost it? No. Falcons probably lost. I don't think they played yet, and they probably lost because they suck. Never pull out. Never surrender. Bend her over like bongos. Actually, uh, if we get the lovely, beautiful, talented Miss Panda in here, I think she's streaming right now, but maybe she'll make an appearance. I gotta get the ladies in here. All the ladies are disappearing on me lately. They all got a case of I'm going over that way itis. You know, I think Elvis scares off all the ladies. I'm very disappointed. You know, back in the day, he used to be like with the ladies, and now it's just kind of I don't know. It's a thing. How'd you know I needed a beer, Colt? I needed a beer all the way. So I'll take a beer. You know what? I'll take a second beer. Why the hell not? Oh, hell. So, and then we'll take a third beer just cause. Now, let's see. Well, same thing. Scotch, beer, brandy. I'll take a screwdriver. Uh, but you know when you're on the telephone, you know the little thing of Jenny shows beer. It might as well be a Scotch, but I don't know. So yes. Hi, I'm Billy D. Williams for Cult 45 Malt Liquor. The ladies drop their panties when I start talking about Cult 45 Malt Liquor. Works every time. I'm telling you, if you go back and watch those old Cult 45 malt liquor things, I'm telling you, that's how he sold it. Hi, I'm Billy D. Williams. Drink this shit. You get laid. I don't know how many people bought that shit just to go, I'm gonna get some ass tonight. Maybe it worked. I mean, if that shit's got enough alcohol to knock out a rhinoceros. So, I mean, hell, it is quite possible. You take a sip of that shit, you're out for 3 days. Uh, so, yeah, I'm pretty sure Billy D. Williams is still alive. I don't think he died yet. I think he's still. I think he's still alive. You know, I'm pretty sure he's still making them malt liquor videos years later. You know, they pay you a few $1,000s to come out of retirement. You'll be like, hey, why not, right? Scotch on the rocks. That's the general um, consensus. So, you know, anywho, let's see what else we got. Oh, let me go throw this in the thingamajig. It's already getting hot in here. That thing makes too much noise. Well, I got it propped up against the door. It makes too much noise. Alrighty. Tis cold and chill. Alright, so anywho. Oh, that's weird. No. Alright. But yeah, anybody drinks this, anybody drinks it, you know, you eat it, I'll drink it. Or something like that. It could be the other way around. If I only knew. If you can only ding. Probably is. Hmm. Oh, that is good. That is why. Oh wait, did that say refrigerator after open? Open. Probably not. We never put that shit in the refrigerator when we growing up. It was fine. Oh, come here. Bills versus Vikings in the Super Bowl. You're gonna have to talk to Zanron about that one because I'm pretty sure his team gonna have something to say about that one. Yeah, I'm sure he'll pop in and tell you about that. But all right, so let's see now. Oh, that was something I didn't hit. Bills versus Vikings. Nah. That would be the elimination game. Actually, Jim Kelly, they did a thing yesterday, the day before, and it was Bills versus the Niners. And Steve Young's like, "We're ready to kick the Bills' ass." And Jim Kelly's like, "Well, my team is gonna put a whooping on your team." And I'm like, I'm in a time warp here. Is this 1993 all over again? I'm like, shit. I'm like, did Jim Kelly come out of retirement and throw 6 touchdown passes and lose another Super Bowl? I mean, hell. But that would be the only Raging Cajun, what's going on? But if it was a Bills Vikings Super Bowl, that would probably guarantee the Vikings winning, I guess. Because, well, no, actually, no, maybe not. Because the Bills are 0-4 in the Super Bowl, and the Vikings are 0-4 in the Super Bowl. Somebody would have to win that one. Toss up. That would be a hell of a toss up game. So. Oh, excuse me. So, yes, I need me a frosty beverage. But we'll settle with the 1.5 liter Coca-Cola. 1.25 Coca. Raiders missed 3 field goals today. Interesting. Okay, well, hell, maybe the Chiefs' defense did stay at 10. You know how it works for ESPN Standard. You start off at 10 points. So if they give up 17 points and miss 3 field goals, that counts as the defense. I don't know. Well, we're gonna check this real fast. Let me minimize this thing. So you might not be able to hear me for a minute, which don't really care. Nobody's gonna notice. Hold on one sec. I'll keep on talking as if y'all can hear me because I don't think you're gonna hear me. But let's see. Let's see what the fantasy league has done to my team. 3 field goals. Good Lord. Damn, Georgia getting ass beat. Georgia Tech is beating Georgia? Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. The ass whooping of a century. Let's see. Come on, load. Okay. Of course. Come on, load already. Man. Yeah, this thing ain't loading. ESPN's not loading. Yeah, the Chiefs still the Chiefs still clinched the playoff berth, so they're not thrilled. How? Who cares? Does it matter? So we're gonna put that up there just to see. I'll be like, you see, that's the evidence right there. I didn't do it. It's the evidence. But yeah. So I was trying to see what ESPN would have got me for standard. It might have got me at like 10 points. I mean, they missed 3 field goals you usually touchdown would bring you down to 8 and 6. A field goal, maybe 5. So if they missed 6, they probably got about 8 points. So that's still on the high. They're projected 7.9. So I mean, 8 points would get it right at where I need it. So it's not that bad. So there you go. Lions versus Chiefs. I ain't too sure about that one. But there, we'll put that one up there just for perspective. But I'm under the impression that until you're eliminated, you're not eliminated. So I'm still saying the Saints are going to the Super Bowl. Yeah, it's a pipe dream, but hey, you know what? Why the hell not? So that's the way I see it. I don't know if the Chiefs are going to make another Super Bowl run. They can, but not always the best 2 teams actually, do whatever. So. But Zanron will be happy with that. I think it'll be Lions 53, the Chiefs 53. Then it goes into overtime, and Mahomes throws an interception or a pick 6, and maybe it's Goff that throws a pick 6. I don't know, but I don't want. I generally don't watch the Super Bowl unless the Saints are in it. I used to back in the day, but since the Super Bowl's in New Orleans, I might have to break down and watch it. There he is. Deplorable garbage in the building. So, Raging Cajun says Lions and the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Let me show you what Doctor Who said in the Super Bowl. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Doctor Who said the Bills and the Vikings. Like, that is an insult to One Pride Nation right there. The Bills and the Vikings. Good Lord. And apparently y'all play the Bills next. So there's going to be some squabbling going on there. Yeah, that's okay. We're 4-7. Hi. I'm proud of my 4-7 team, but well, I'll say this: the Saints let so much talent go that honestly, you're welcome, because obviously the Lions picked superior talent, coaching staff, because 4 of the head. Dan Campbell came from the Saints. Aaron Glenn came from the Saints, and there's 3 other coaches that because Dan Campbell, their teams are gonna pick who they want. So, you're welcome. If y'all do win a Super Bowl, you're welcome. Hopefully, we keep Darren Rizzi as head coach. Special team coordinators make the best coaches. Now, Dan Campbell was the tight end coach with the Saints. He was the one that made Jimmy Graham good. And if you want to give him credit for Shockey, I guess you can. I don't know. But you know, so that's the way I see it. But wouldn't it be ironic if the three-peat, because now, y'all remember the 49ers won 2 Super Bowls in a row. And you know what stopped that three-peat? Leonard Marshall. If you don't know who Leonard Marshall is, he played for the New York Giants back in the 80s and 90s. He played for other teams too. I think maybe the Eagles. I don't know. But yeah, he was a star in the Giants. And in the NFC Championship game, he was the one who put out Montana for a year and a half, damn near 2 years, with that hit. Boom! Hit his elbow, threw his shoulder out. I know he tore his elbow, and I think he tore his shoulder. He literally just killed him. And then the backup was in. I don't know if it was Young or Bono that came in that game. I know Young was the backup, but by that point it was 2, and they lost 15-13. If Montana was healthy in that game, I'm pretty sure the 49ers. There would have been no result because the 49ers would have probably beat the shit out of the Bills. But that was the Norwood miss. Of all the kicks, of all of them, the Bills should at least won that one game, Super Bowl 20. No, 25. It was XXV. Because I think that was in Pasadena, maybe, if I remember right. I told you what the Detroit Lions record's going to be. I done told you. I told you the record is going to be 13-4. I told you this. Or 12-3. Or 12-5. 13-4. Something like that. Hey, I'm wrong. Experts are wrong from time to time. But I called the Lions in the playoffs long before anybody else did. And you have to give me credit for that. I did not shit on your team. I shit on the Vikings because fuck them. Hey, just think of this. The Falcons keep losing and the Saints keep winning. We get the wild card berth. That's right. Think of this logic. Just this is a wild card Hail Mary scenario. Okay, because the winner in the NFC South hosts the playoff game. Let's just say the Saints make the playoffs at 10-7, 9-8. Okay, it's theoretically possible because we play 4 shitty teams in a row. It's theoretically possible. Let's just say Saints win out and go 10-7, and they play a wild card, and we get, the 7 team generally plays the 2 or the 3 seed, which is probably going to be the Vikings at this point, because Detroit's already locked up for a first round bye. So Detroit won't play until the divisional round. Let's just say in this scenario, the Saints make the playoffs and draw the Vikings. That would be a home game in the Superdome. I mean, that would be a W right there because we can overcome because the Vikings are starting to get hurt. I don't think the Vikings are going to make it all the way. They have enough wins to make the playoffs, but I don't think they're going to go far in the playoffs because they're going to get exposed, depending on who they play. Now, I think the Saints would beat the Vikings in the playoffs, or they would beat the Rams or whoever we'd had in the first round wild card. We would win. Now, the Lions would play the lowest team. That's generally how it is. So, but the Saints wouldn't be the 7th seed. If we win the NFC South, the Saints would have the 4th seed, which means we could keep playing and not even get to the Lions into the NFC Championship. Now, granted, if we play the Lions, that's going to be in Ford Field. So the Lions are going to have home field advantage, which they should. However, wouldn't that be interesting if it was a Saints-Lions game in Ford Field and somehow the referees blow it. Like the referees just totally just because they don't like the Saints and they don't like the Lions. You would have to flip a coin. I would think that if the game was held in Detroit, they would hold more Ferry, more Curry, and they would give the benefit of the doubt to the Lions because home field, a feel-good story. People want to see the Lions win. And that would be good for ratings. However, in this Hail Mary scenario, I honestly think if the Saints and the Lions hook up an NFC Championship game, I'm 110% sure that the Saints would win. Now, granted, it might be by a field goal, a PAT, a safety, a fumble, something. Now, there are like 42 million things that would have to happen for us to even get into that scenario. So it's too far gone. But I don't see the Lions getting to the Super Bowl. And I'll tell you why. They have one weakness, and their weakness is they've never been there before. So you can't get there without playing it. Remember, the Saints in 2006 made the NFC Championship game, and they went to Chicago and played Chicago in the snow. And I thought they hung pretty tight with them, but they lost. I don't remember the score. But that was their first dance. And then they kept building and building, and a few years later, they won the Super Bowl. Okay, we used to play with the greatest show on turf, the Rams, and we beat the shit out of Kurt Warner every goddamn time. We beat them in the playoffs one year, if you remember right. We whooped their ass. But this is a Hail Mary scenario. Like 42 billion things have to go right for this scenario to happen. Is it going to happen? Probably not. The Vikings have a better shot of playing the Lions in the playoffs than we do. We got like 5 teams. We need 5 teams to lose every game for us to have a miracle shot. Or the Falcons can just have an epic collapse like they generally do. Tampa beat the Giants 30-7. So, well, once again, you're welcome because, where did Dan Campbell came from? He came from the Saints. So, once again, you're welcome. And I think we should keep Darren Rizzi as the head coach. But, they'll hire somebody that, I don't know. They'll hire somebody that thinks they're good, but I don't know. He played for the Saints, too. He was with the Saints for half a year under Sean Payton. That's why Sean Payton hired him. He played for Sean Payton with the Cowboys also. Coach brings in there, but Dan Campbell brought Aaron Glenn, who I thought that was going to get named head coach or the defensive coordinator. Don't be surprised if Aaron Glenn comes back to the Saints and is the head coach of the Saints. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but hey, he's got a familiarity with these Saints. So there we go. Yeah, I saw some of that. I watched most of the games. Detroit almost choked though. They had a lead, and then all of a sudden they let the Bears come back, and then then the Bears head coach decided, nah, we don't feel like winning this shit today. Fuck that. And he's like, I'm done. And as soon as I saw that play, and I was like, yep, he's fired. And sure enough, they fired his ass this morning. They should have fired his ass after the game. They should have said, fuck you. Here's your turkey. Don't come back home. Happy Thanksgiving. Or as we like to call it, Happy Saintsgiving. And of course, Christmas is Happy Saintsmas. So, we can say that. But, yeah, the Bears just, they just brain fart. And then I saw something today where they said out of the 3 teams that looking for a head coach, the Bears are the one that's mostly sought after. Why? The Bears have a lot of shit. Other than Caleb Williams, who the hell do the Bears have? Every year the Bears suck. I would think that the Saints head coach position is good because we got a lot of good, talented players. Now, probably Cam Jordan's probably going to retire after this year. He might go one more year. Probably have about 5 or 6 people that retire. Saints are an old team. I mean, shit, we got to get younger. We got rid of Lattimore, which probably is the best defensive player, but he ain't played shit. But, Well, I wish we would have played the Lions this year. I wish we would have played the Lions in week 1. Maybe we would have fired Dennis. See, our general manager refused to fire our coach. He's like, oh, he's a great coach. I'm like, what are you smoking, man? What in the ass are you smoking? The dude, Dennis Allen is one of the worst head coaches in NFL history. He's like, but he was with the Raiders. The Raiders suck. I'm like, okay, well, he was still running Sean Payton's offense, for Christ's sakes. And I'm like, why are we still running Sean Payton's offense? Fuck this. And then we hired Clint Kubiak from the 49ers, and we're still fucking running Sean Payton's offense. I mean, it just happens to be in the last 3 weeks, we finally give Taysom the fucking football. I'm like, give Taysom the football. Make him the quarterback. We don't lose when Taysom does shit good. What happened last week? Taysom had 40-something fantasy points. I single-handedly won my fantasy game. I have been starting Taysom the last 4 years, either at quarterback, tight end, or flex. He's got a tight end designation, so I put him in either the tight end slot or the flex slot. But I always start Taysom Hill, even if he's got 1 carry, if he scores a touchdown. He actually, last week, Taysom was the first player, or the week before, Taysom was the first player in NFL history to run the ball, throw a pass, catch a pass, throw an interception, and fumble the football, and return a kickoff, and almost block a punt. So, I mean, shit, Taysom's going to be in the Hall of Fame. He's 34, so we wasting his prime years here. We need to get Taysom in the Super Bowl. I'm pretty confident after this year, Derek Carr's not going to be on my team anymore. Because usually when a new head coach comes in, they bring their players. I mean, that's what Sean Payton does. That's what, Dan Campbell brought the Lions signed somebody today, and I don't know who they signed. I heard it was a linebacker or something, but that's generally what happens. They bring their own guys who they know. See, that's why Dennis Allen brought every fucking Raiders player. I'm like, the Raiders suck. We're bringing in the Raiders players who suck, which makes my team suck. You got to bring in the good players, not the shitty players. Now, the only thing on the Dennis Allen is he did draft some LSU players. Sean Payton never drafted LSU. He always went with Ohio State. It worked for him. Who would have thought the Broncos actually would have a winning record? I mean, hell. But, yeah, well, Doctor Who already said the Bills are beating the Lions. He already said that. So, what guy? That dude blocked me. You don't know that, do you? He thought I was a troll. That dude blocked me, right? I didn't tell you that. Yeah, he thought I was a troll. One of his mods timed me out. I was like, I'm in here talking to garbage. Apparently thought I was calling him garbage. I don't know. But yeah, I got timed out in that chat, so that's why I left. Oh, yeah, no, one of his mods, somebody timed me out or blocked me. I don't know, because I couldn't talk again in that chat. But how the hell am I going to let someone on my panel? I don't even know this person. They don't even come to my channel. They don't even know I exist. How the hell am I going to let someone I don't know on my panel? But yeah, I got timed out because I said, "Hey, how you doing, garbage?" And after a while, I was talking. I said, "I'm only here to talk to garbage." Apparently, they must have thought I'm here to talk. I don't know what it was, but I was only timed out for like 10 minutes. But then I was able to talk again, and I was talking to you. But I'm just like, no. I said, I'm here to talk to I should have said, I'm here to talk to deplorable garbage. But somebody misunderstood. But it's not a big deal. But Omegle isn't even a thing anymore. Omegle got canceled 2 years ago. Unless they brought it back, I'm not aware of. But the owner shut it down because of all the child trafficking and stuff. Sarge, salute Sarge. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Well, somebody timed me out. I'm just saying. It might have been YouTube. I don't know because I couldn't speak for 10 minutes. That's why I left. I was talking to you and all of a sudden I couldn't speak. I couldn't type. And I'm just like, what the hell did I do? I didn't even see any mods in there. So maybe it was a YouTube thing. Happy White Friday. We don't call it Black Friday because, well, I don't own the copyright to that. But I started up a stream a little while ago, and I forgot to put the on. I had 10 people. Within 2 minutes, I had spammers in my chat. And I'm just like, really? Y'all ain't got nothing else better to do? Damn spammers. Nothing else better to do. So Xanaron, if you go live tonight, you should type it White Friday, a White Friday party. All I did was put White Friday, and I had like 10 people in chat in the first 2 seconds. And I'm just like, okay. So I must have struck a nerve with that one. And then all the spammers came in, and I had to shut it down and go through StreamYards instead of Restream. But I got something like 50 views in like 6 minutes. So I'm like, okay. I was trying to put the mod thing on, but it wouldn't let me for whatever reason. What has your truck got to do with it? Get on your scooter. Walk home. Hell. You know what you could do? What Treasure Woman does. Treasure Woman breaks down. I don't really know how to. I mean, I sort of know how you could take shorts. You could take your live streams and edit it to shorts. And she's been doing that with her videos. And like breaking it down to 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and getting like 400 views on each one. Huh. Well, that's insane there. Water pump. Yeah. You know, water pumps never seem to work. I mean, look at it right now. It says 0 on YouTube. I got 2 people talking, yet it says 0. You know, I was watching something on Sergeant Slaughter yesterday. I was watching the real Peter Griffin. You know, there's a guy, and he does all of Peter Griffin skits. He's a big fat guy, and he looks just like Peter Griffin. And that's his channel, Real Life Peter Griffin. And he got another channel, and he was interviewing Sergeant Slaughter. He was dressed up in the Sergeant Slaughter gear, the Peter Griffin guy. And he was showing all the Sergeant Slaughter toys and action figures, and you know. Huh. Hey, at least you're still employed. I got laid off the day before Thanksgiving. So I was supposed to transfer. Guess what? They vetoed that shit. They said, nah. The store I was supposed to transfer to, they said, nah, we're not taking you. We don't have to take you. And I said, that's bullshit. And I argued back and forth. So, yeah, I lost my job the day before Thanksgiving. So, I mean, I'm sorry to hear all your stuff, but yeah. Yeah, no. I mean, I knew it was coming. I knew the store was going to close. It wasn't a surprise to me. I've been knowing for 6 weeks. At some point, it was going to close. But I was hoping it was going to stay open until at least Christmas, like some of the other stores. But they guaranteed me a transfer. But then the woman at the other store told me, oh, just because you're full-time doesn't mean I have to give you. She goes, I don't have to give y'all any hours. She goes, I'm watching out for my crew. And I'm like, bitch. Let me tell you something. It's unlimited hours right now. The company is going under in less than a month. 6 weeks tops. They're going to, unless they sell it. And she's like, well, I'm not going to give y'all any hours. She goes, y'all can work like 3 hours on Saturday and 2 hours. I'm not going to cross state lines. It's 15 minutes away in Mississippi. But the thing is, if I go there I have to pay taxes in that state. But here's the thing. I can't claim unemployment if I do that because I would have to claim Mississippi unemployment. I don't live in Mississippi. I mean, you can claim. It's a lot harder if you do that. So I'm already, I'm already approved for the $275 a week for unemployment, and plus I got an interview coming up next week for a wooden floor place, and they pay $19.50 an hour. So hopefully I get that job. Now that's about 15 minutes away, but I can ride a bike because I can go through the backwoods, but I can't ride a bike in the highway and go cross state lines. But it made more sense to me to just not, because this bitch is going to tell me, oh, I'm not going to give you any hours. Then why am I going to transfer? See, a full-time employee, and I even talked to the corporate guy, and he even told me you're guaranteed 30 hours, you're full-time. But this bitch that's running this store, she don't want to give us any hours. She's like, well, I'm going to take care of my people. I'm like, if it was the other way around, my boss would have gave you all the hours. Because, well, they already told us. They said the payroll is unlimited right now. Don't go over 40 hours because we were getting 40 hours the last 6 weeks. And we even went in the other day for a cookout. We got paid 6 hours just to eat food. I took a video. That was the video I posted on YouTube that got a copyright because Taylor Swift was playing in the background. Because we didn't have the music off yet. But I'll show it on Cajun Stream. If one of these days I'll show the video. If I ever get my laptop working again, that's another problem. I don't think that laptop's ever going to work again. I've spent $50 on this laptop. I can't get a plug that works. I paid $20, $24 for an adapter for 20 adapters. Not a goddamn one of them works. None of them want to charge my laptop. I got 23 adapters. I've spent $50. Can't get the damn thing to work. So my last effort is to go to the Computer People, which is a place down the street. I know the owner. I'm going to see if he can open up the panel on the back of my laptop and rig it. It's got to be the laptop at this point because the adapters are fitting, but they won't go all the way in. And that's the problem I have. But I've been looking for a job for the last 3 months. I've gotten interviews. They just don't want to pull the trigger. I mean, Louisiana is very tough to, it's very tough because these people, they'll interview you and then they'll even tell you, oh, we don't have a position open, but we want to interview you anyway. And I'm just like, don't waste my time. But this place that I'm trying to get in, that I'm going to go for a job for, it's a brand new place. It hasn't opened yet. They're still building it. It's a floor and decor place. It's, flooring, which I have experience with in the past. Because, the company that I just got laid off from has the building supplies, and I've done the building supplies already. So I got much experience. Yeah, it's funny. They want me to do a job interview in a hotel. I'm like, okay, I'll go to a hotel room. I don't care. So, if I get kidnapped and you don't see me again, I'm in a hotel room. So, and then, in a couple of months, I probably have to start looking for a place of my own. Because the roomie doesn't want to live with me anymore. So, it's just, it's kind of terrible. All this shit's got to happen. It's insane. I was hoping they were our store wasn't even supposed to close. They just flipped the coin. And I thought there was a chance they would buy the company, and there still is, but I don't think they're going to reopen that building. It's just going to sit vacant because the landlord is a slumlord. I mean, if I show you this building, there's black mold in the ceiling. The ceiling tiles leak. Half the store leaks when it rains. You got to put buckets everywhere. I bought a lot of the shit. I bought the microwave that we had in our break room. I bought a record player. I bought our shredder, a paper shredder. It's a brand new paper shredder. I bought that for $1. Bought the microwave for 10. I wanted to buy our refrigerator. My boss beat me to it. He paid 20 for it. But well, it's the company they just did. They owed $76 million. But this wasn't this wasn't the store. This was the landlord. They had Rouse's, a big grocery chain. They wanted to renovate the store. They were told no. Most of the shopping center is completely dead. They have a Crumbler cookie. There's a Mexican place. The haircutting place was closed for a month. It reopened. And then there's like this Cato. It's like a little boutique, and that's it. They used to have a Piccadilly cafeteria. Used to have our grocery store. Used to have there were like 5 or 6. There's like 8 buildings in this whole section out of 12 that's completely But the one of the people that wanted to buy the company, they came in with a clipboard and just was like, they were looking up at the ceiling. So I'm like, well, that's it. But there's a company, American Thrift. It's in Indiana, I believe. They are trying to buy the company. They still might. I think they already actually bought the company because the project manager slipped and said something to me he wasn't supposed to say to me. So I'm pretty sure, but I think they just wanted to keep the Mississippi ones open. But yeah, it's 33 degrees down here right now. I'm just like, why in the hell is it this cold? But I actually found the Saints shirt from probably 20 years ago. That's brand new. So I'm going to wear that again. But it's only 20. It's supposed to get I think it's like 37. Why don't you film that? Hell, go live with that. Use your phone. But let me tell you this, right? How did I get a copyright? All these videos when you go into the places, you go into a convenience store, they're playing music. Have you ever got hit with a little circle thing that said copyright? I mean, maybe people do and they just do it anyway, but I literally posted this video. I put it on mute. Soon as I posted it, I got a copyright notice. Too cold to hold the phone. Come on now, you should be used to that cold. I mean, good Lord, you've lived down there your entire life. You should be used to that shit, just like we're used to the heat. I don't know, get your son to hold the phone for him. That's what he's there for. Wake him up. Just, yeah. But I mean, hell. But well, no, because I got a note as soon as I posted it was like copy because they were I was in the store and they were playing music. Well, it just happens that one of the Taylor Swift songs popped up. I mean, if it wasn't a Taylor Swift song, I guarantee you I wouldn't have got no copyright. But I deleted the video, so I don't think I got a strike per se. I think I just got one of those notices. I mean, I'll have to ask Scotty about it. He might be streaming right now. I might ask him. Because I don't know how much longer I want to go for anyway. And I was going to stream last night. It's just I have to get in the mood to stream. And I was kind of like, I had it all set up. But, not that I really care too much because I ain't getting monetized anytime soon. I don't even really care about that, honestly. But if I do, great. Maybe one of these days YouTube will make a viral video out of one of my videos. Who knows? I mean, I did a live stream a couple of weeks ago, and I got like 60 views. And I turned off the live stream, and I woke up, and it's up to like 700 views. And I go, well, shit. I don't remember saying anything, but well, that happens on Turkey Day. Ironically enough, there was no turkey in my household, no ham. I ate spare ribs. My turkey dinner, My Thanksgiving, or Saintsgiving, excuse me, Who Dat Nation, Saintsgiving, consisted of ribs, pork ribs, Brussels sprouts, because I like Brussels sprouts, macaroni, Kraft and cheese, because I couldn't get the other cheese. I like the Stouffer's. Mashed potatoes, peas, and we had some corn. So something simple. Last year we did a roast for Thanksgiving. Now Christmas I'm going to my aunt's house, which is near Cajun's. So if Cajun gets his car fixed by then, he could drive on over, him and Missy. Maybe that's when I'll actually meet Cajun in person, or Grumpy Stack Tires. Because that's the only way. They're not coming down here. So I gotta go up that way. We'll do a video. Look who I ran into. Cajun did that when he ran into Grumpy Stack and got a bunch of got like 100 views. The parking lot of the Superdome is it's an old cemetery. We don't really have a parking lot. The Superdome doesn't really have a parking lot. It's a parking garage. Because the Superdome, on one side it's Girard Street, the other side it's Canal Street. I'm trying to remember the other two lanes but I mean there is no parking lot like you see the stadium, you see miles and miles of cars. No, it's you go under the dome, underneath there's a parking tunnel. There's like 4 or 5 sides. You go up, 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 up. It's like next to it. Most cases you park across the street, down the street. You park on Canal Street, or you park and you pay that parking, and you go around and Well, I'll tell you what. If you come, well, the hotels are going to be all booked up because Mardi Gras is going to be going on around that time. Because Mardi Gras this year, coming up next year I think it's in March. It might be in February. I don't remember the exact date. It's usually February, March. Mardi Gras, the carnival season always starts anywhere from January 3rd to the 12th. And then, from Lent, Mardi Gras, it's 40 days till you hit Easter. So it's like, so in that period of time, they're going to have, and they're going to have stuff, and they're already starting to put down plaques. Like they're putting down New Orleans Hall of Honor, Fame of Honor. And one of them was Lil Wayne. So Lil Wayne's getting a plaque, and it's supposed to go from Bourbon or Canal all the way to the Dome. And it's supposed to be top 50 or top 100 contributors to New Orleans. Todd Graves is the other one. He owns Raising Cane's. So they did that. I mean, they're going to have to give one to Drew Brees and Archie, and I'm pretty sure. But it's supposed to be solid gold. It's supposed to be laid down. I don't know if it's cement or what, but, they're actually fixing the potholes in New Orleans. They usually never do that shit, but, you got the Super Bowl coming, and it's the 12th. I think it's the 12th Super Bowl that New Orleans has hosted. It's the ninth or 10th that the Superdome's hosted. I want to say the 10th. Because Tulane Stadium held the first 2 or 3. And ironically, Tulane Stadium, it was torn down in the 70s. And then Tulane played in the Superdome, because I've seen Tulane games in the Superdome up until about 8 or 9 years ago, 7 years ago, when Yeoman Stadium was built. But Yeoman Stadium is Tulane's campus is about not even 3-4 miles from the Superdome. I think probably 5 miles. I'm thinking it's not that far because you can see the Superdome in the distance. But Tulane Stadium was wedged into all the dorms, and then they got the hospitals, and so it's wedged in like all the dorms. So when they built Yeoman Stadium, they only had a specific space, but they didn't build it where Tulane Stadium was. They built it going the other direction. So Yeoman Stadium's kind of pigeonholed. You go down the street, and it's funny, you go down the street, they got Yeoman Stadium. Either side of Yeoman Stadium, you got the dorm rooms on either side. Then you got the hospital in the middle. No, on the right. You walk through Yeoman, you go through another section as an open area, you got the hospital. And then you go behind Yeoman Stadium, and they got all the grass and the mud and dirt. Well, that was where Tulane Stadium used to stand. Because me and my friend are doing a video, and I go, So we're out there, and I'm like, okay, we're trying to find the spot, the actual spot that Tom Dempsey kicked the 63-yard field goal. So we're walking, and you think there's a plaque or something? No. So we keep going. Me and my friend determined that the spot where Dempsey kicked the field goal is under concrete. Just from aerial research, the stadium is on top of the, because, and I totally forgot about it because I'm like, we're behind the stadium because we went there for Saints practice, because sometimes the Saints practice in Yeoman Stadium. They do a night every year. They do one night practice. So me and my friend went, and Yeoman is uptown. It's literally 5 blocks. It's literally maybe not even 5 miles from the Superdome. You can see the Superdome in the distance. And me and my friend are filming this shit. We came in. I'm filming it on Facebook. I got like 20 viewers. He's filming it. He's got 10,000 viewers. Like, how the fuck are you filming it on the same channel? And this was on Facebook. We should have did it on YouTube. But we're doing this on Facebook Live. I think this was when Sean Payton was still coach, because I haven't went to any Saints practices since Breeze retired. Now my second cousin, he just moved. He lives on Transcontinental, which is right, literally the next street over from where the Saints practice on off Airline, right next to the Shrine on Airline, which used to be Zephyr Field, the AAA baseball team we had until the owner stole that and moved it to Omaha. It's a pain in the ass. That dude should die anyway. But so my cousin and his wife, they live right there by the training facility. So next year, I'm going to get him to come down here, pick me up. I'll pay for the gas, all that shit. We'll go get some autographs. But me and my friend, we would go every year for like 4 or 5 years in a row. I have video of Drew Brees saying the F word. That ain't out there on YouTube. I got it. Drew Brees don't swear. So it takes a lot. Drew Brees kept throwing the ball, and the receiver he dropped it 2 or 3 times. And Drew Brees was like, fuck. And everybody's like, pin drop. We were like, did he just swear? I'm like, and that video only got like 200 views, but I shouldn't renamed it Brees Swears. It's the video where it's like Trey Henderson. That's another thing too. That video, that draft class, all the players the Saints gave away. We had Trey Henderson, who's been kicking ass with the Bengals. That is the first, and he was a rookie. I knew who he was, but I never heard of him before. So he is the screenshot. He is the thumbnail in the video. So I talked to him. He was like 22 at the time, but they got rid of him to keep other players, and he's been like he last year had 17 sacks. This year he's got like 12, I think. He's been, the Bengals signed him to a big ass contract, but I didn't think the Saints were gonna sign him. But they kept fucking Eli Apple bullshit. And I found out this week Eli Apple is still employed in the NFL with the Chargers. And Marcus May, who we let go for salary cap reasons, the Dolphins let him go. He went with whatever. I can't watch anything while I'm live. I can't watch anything live on my phone. It'll kick me off the live stream. I just got a notification that you sent it to me, but I can't watch it. I'd have to end the live stream. because I would actually have to turn the sound up. I can't do that on a live video because it'll cancel out this video. It's weird how my phone works, but I'll watch it when I end the stream. I'll probably end the stream in a bit or whenever. But so let's see. Let's see. What else we got? So yeah, that's how we found out before the practice that last time we went to Ullman Stadium. That's where the what you call it, Tulane Stadium in the background, the dirt and stuff. So well, a lot of shit that's being sold is not advertised. I got some gloves that I found, but it doesn't get cold enough down here for me to really wear gloves. I found a pair of gloves when I was moving, but it's a lot of stuff. Woot woot indeed. And wait till the Saints play Danny DeVito. But this week, and I hate that we play at 3:05. I get it. We're in Los Angeles. I get it. But even when we're playing a West Coast team, 49ers, Chargers, Rams, even when it's a home game, they always stick us at a 3:05, 3:25 time slot. So I got to wait till 3:00. But hey, one good thing about being unemployed right now, the only thing about getting laid off right before Thanksgiving, right? Merry Christmas, by the way. The only thing is I get to watch the Saints game because I've only seen one Saints game this year because they kept scheduling me. No, two, because they keep scheduling me on a damn Sunday. So I get to watch the Saints. Now, I'm sorry that Matthew Stafford sucks. He's going to get his ass beat by the Saints, but somebody's going to have to beat the Rams, and it might as well be the Saints because the Rams have lost 2 or 3 straight. Actually, we need to beat the Rams to leapfrog them in the playoff race. So therefore, we'll only have 4 teams ahead of us. And I don't know who the Falcons play this week, but I'm pretty sure they suck because the Falcons can't beat anybody. And yeah, they got a 2-game lead on the division, but they totally suck ass. And no, so no, well. But other than that, so let's see. Where's my Duke? Oh man. But yeah. Telling you, these damn companies have pissed me off. They knew that they knew this shit was coming. They knew it was coming 3 months before they announced it. I mean, that's kind of a fruit thing to do to lay their employees off right before Thanksgiving, right? We're in the holiday season. So I got no love lost for them. It's the second time this company laid me off. Well, no, technically it's a separate. It was a separate company. They just keep selling it. So that's the second time. There is no third time. We're not working with that company for a third time. So, well, there you go. Congratulations, 750 subs. Elvis, I ain't said a damn thing about your Vikings in 45 minutes. I'm sitting here talking with garbage about the Lions whooping Viking ass, That might have been the only thing I said. 750 subs. Next up, 1,000. Keep getting them subs up. I kind of wished Amazon would have freaking opened that. Amazon built a plant down here like 4 years ago, opened it up. It's just sitting empty because the city that I live in refused to give Amazon money. They wanted $20 million in taxes, and they said, fuck you. That's why we didn't get the Coke plant years ago. Same reason. Amazon's got a history of doing that. They open up, they will build warehouses and just leave them empty. Because I keep seeing this commercial. It says, we pay our employees $20 hourly wage, part-time and full-time. And I'm like, yeah, if you ever open up the fucking buildings. I mean, I know they got the delivery drivers because I bought something from them. I rarely ever buy anything off Amazon. I'm like, And I tried to get a job at Whole Foods. Whole Foods was bought out by Amazon a few years ago. And that I fill out the application. It took 45 minutes to an hour at most. As soon as I hit the thing, they said, we will notify you. 5 minutes later, they rejected me. I'm just like, why? Oh, because I used to work for their competing grocery store. That's why I got rejected, which is right across the street. Same thing why Dick's Sporting Goods won't hire me, because I used to work at Academy. What the hell has that got to do with anything? Like when Dick's Sporting Goods opened, we don't hire Academy people. And I'm like, okay, I hadn't worked for Academy in 3 years. What's that got to do with, anybody can be retrained. That don't mean anything. So these companies, they need employees desperately. They need people to work for them so desperately, but they're so picky. They'll reject you over the least little thing. I applied at Harbor Freight. I got turned down. I've applied 6 times at Harbor Freight. I just put in another application 3 days ago. Soon as I put that in, within 2 minutes, I got turned down. And they got Harbor Freight positions everywhere. Down here, down the street. I call them up. Oh, we just hired people. We have a full staff. I'm like, then why is it on Indeed and ZipRecruiter y'all are needing for every position for Harbor Freight? See, these jobs, these companies do that. They'll put the position up, but it's not open. They do that to where they get a pool of applicants. So if somebody quits or gets fired, when I worked at Rack Room, my boss, we lost 2 or 3 people. She's like, let me check the thing. And she's looking at the applicants from January and February. We went in October. And she's calling these people up, hey, do you still need a job? And they're like, no, I have a job. Fuck you, click. And I don't blame them. She's like, yeah, I saw you put an application in 8 months ago. Are you still looking? Most jobs after 6 months will kick you out of the system. I put in a job for Dollar Tree, and it was in the system 60 days. They didn't reject me, but they kicked me out and said, oh, you got to fill your out application again. So, I called them up, and they were like, oh, we have a full staff. And I'm like, seriously, for the love of God, if you have a full staff, please take the position off. Take it off of ZipRecruiter and Indeed and wherever else you got it on. Take it off. That's why when you see 900, whatever, hell. Huh. Yeah, that's something. Walk to the, well, hey, at least you got a car. It may not be working, but I never had one for myself. I bought 2 of them, just not for myself. So... And that's what's preventing me from, one of the things from preventing me to get jobs in the 20 miles down the road. That's what they pay shitload. 20 miles from me, they got another city. And the cost of living in that city is way high. So the salaries are way high because I used to work in that city. And they'll pay you $20 an hour because out there, $20 an hour is like minimum wage because Everything. I mean, hell, a 1-bedroom apartment out there is $2,000. 1 bedroom, $2,000 out there. So that's why they pay you $20 an hour, $22 an hour, because that's, they gotta, um, yeah, that piece of shit that Mr. Briggs sent to Cajun. The water pump broke down. That's why we don't talk about it. I mean, Cajun would have just been buying, better off going to a junkyard and buying a junker. Because I seriously doubt they're going to get that damn thing running. It's just a pain in the ass. It's a money pit situation. I mean, I understand the gesture. He gave him a free car, but what good is a free car when you can't get the damn thing running? I mean, it's basically like having a car sit in your driveway and you can't get it fixed. So, hold on one sec. I got to sneeze. Alrighty. So I mean, having a car and having a working car is always a good thing. But yeah, it's a pain. I know a guy. I know a couple of mechanics. I just don't own a car. I know one that lives right down the road. He's got it. I go to this. Well, I know my mom went to this guy for a while, but he's got a shop. He's right down the street, about a half a mile from where I live now. And he's 84 years old. He retired. He retired years ago, but he's got his house. And then behind his house, he's got big property. It's right on the side where my friend lives, right across the street. My friend owns that entire land, and except for the front part, which is where the mechanic is. And he's got the hydraulic lifts and all, and he's got a big ass, like a barn. It's a red barn behind his house, and that's where his business is. He's got 4 electronic things, the pumps. Him and his son, and he's got like 3 other people, and he pays them on the side, and he's just that's what he does. And I'm like, you're not gonna retire? He goes, oh, mechanics don't retire. He's like 84 years old. He gets under there. He doesn't really look 84. I mean, he looks like he's in his 50s, honestly. But he'll fix shit for like if Napa fucking tells you like $1,000, he'll go, oh, I'll do it for 200. Like he'll do it, he'll do it for next to nothing because he's like, I really don't need the money. I just do this on the side. I mean, hell, he used to fix my mom's car and say $10. And, it would be like, he goes, well, I'm not going to, anywhere else would charge you like $300 for labor. He goes, I'll just charge you $10. He's like, because he's just doing it on the side to be nice. Because he's retired. He's like, I don't even need to do this. He goes, I got my, he retired when he was like 50 something years old. He's been retired for 35 years. He just does it on the side just to, like old people, they get out the house. That's why you go to Walmart and you see those 97-year-old greeters. They're just there to get out the house. They don't care about the salary. Well, actually, Buck Finds America, they have to be working because they can't make it on what they get for SSI. But this guy I used to work with, former coworker last week, he pulled strings. His grandpa works at Walmart. He pulled strings to get him on at Walmart. And he's like, "Oh, you ought to come work for me." And I'm like, "Yeah, I can't work for Walmart anymore." But he works at a neighborhood market. I said, well, maybe I can work at the neighborhood market, but that was literally right down the street from where I used to live. Like, isn't that ironic? If I can get a job there, it's actually further away than what it used to be. And I actually know 3 employees I used to work with back in the day. So now it's 4 ex-employees I used to work with. Yeah, duct tape and crazy glue can fix a lot of shit. But I mean, honestly, you go to a damn junkyard, pay $50, $100 for a piece of shit. I mean, long as it gets you from point A to point B. I mean, I remember back in the day, like when my dad was working, like in the 80s, and our car broke down. he got a bike. He was riding, 3, 4, 10 miles with a bike. And he used to go to now this was when everything was cheaper in the 80s. He used to go to a junkyard. You'd pay like $20. They would get one of the cars. It would run. But, like one time he bought a car and he only needed to drive like 5 miles back and forth to work. So it wasn't like he was driving. But if you drove it more than 5 miles, it would overheat the radiator and this and that. And you'd have to put water in it. I remember we were going somewhere as a kid. We had to stop every 10 minutes. But he bought the car for like $10 because they were going to scrap it. There was so much shit wrong with it. But it still ran. The engine was good. It's just the carburetor was fucked up. The radiator was fucked up. Power steering was fucked up. But if you held it together and you only went 5 or 10 miles, it was good. Like if you went on the back roads, and there were back roads, it wasn't a highway thing. If you went on the back roads, then it was no problem. So, and he had that car they were scrapping it. And they were getting ready to put it in a pound, and he bought it. And he had that car for about 3 years before it finally kaput, because he changed a lot of the stuff out himself. 3 or 4 years before he just bought another car. Didn't want to deal with it anymore. But I mean, fixed the radiator, fixed up the carburetor a little bit so where everything was. But then I think the power steering, he did that. I think it caught fire, if I remember. I think that's what happened. I think it caught fire like a Pinto. Because I remember something. I don't remember exactly, but I'm 100%. My memory is kind of shot. I think I've had too many concussions, undocumented concussions. So my brain just doesn't think the way it should think. I'm getting like Chris Olave. No, actually, he's becoming me. No. Back in the day, you play tackle football. We ain't wear the fucking helmets. We tackle each other. We played on a grass field, but then they built like 2 houses on this grass field, and then they plowed it over with cement. And then they started the whole field. They started building houses. I don't know what's on it now. Katrina took all that shit away. But like in the front of our houses, like it was my house, the apartment out. No, it was a house. It was a twin, the duplex that I used to live in. I lived in a duplex for a while, and I lived in a 2-story for about 5 or 6 years. There was a duplex, like a townhouse. Like one side, and a neighbor. I lived next door to a Vietnamese guy for 4 or 5 years. That's how we had to joke. Oh, the cats are disappearing. I had a bunch of cats and they disappeared all of a sudden. And I'm like, what the hell? But we would run on that field, and then he moved out, and we got this lady. I remember I was playing baseball, and I swung, and the bat went right through a window, and she freaked out, and she called the cops. She wasn't home, but she's like, my ex-boyfriend broke in my house, and I had to tell her, no, it was me. And she's like, oh, I thought it was my ex-boyfriend. This was a Vietnamese couple I lived next door to for about 5 years. And they moved out. They got evicted. And then this lady lived there for about a year before I moved out. Kind of a good thing that we moved out at that time, too, because I still would have been living down there. And that's when Katrina. I still want to. I haven't, I left my parish in 97. So I've been in this parish longer than I've been in my parish. So I have only been stepped foot in my parish 4 times in 27 years. So I mean, it got really bad because all the goddamn Mexicans started moving down there, and they're moving in my area because working at my last job, I always dealt with Mexicans. We were getting rid of this shit. And they come up to me, how much? You go, how you doing today? How much? It's $5. Oh, no. That's $2. Oh, no. How much do you want it for? Free? And then they'll buy a bunch of shit and pull out $100 bill. And I'm like, Oh, that'll be $3.42. And they give me $100 bill, and I go, are you fucking serious? I don't have change for this shit. 9:35 in the morning. Like shit, you don't have $3.42 in your fucking pocket. Oh, that's right. The government hands you that money. That's what it is. Yeah, you certainly didn't fucking earn it. So one time I saw a Mexican with a credit card and I dropped dead. I was like, really? A credit card? I've never seen that before. Mexicans, and they would always come through. When I was on the register, it was the first person I checked out, and I'm like, and I tell them, can you go on another line, please? I don't want to count money today. But, the last couple of weeks, we get rid of this shit in the store. And so we got 4 bins of underwear. So this Mexican comes up and he goes, I buy underwear, $10, $10. I give you $10. And at this point, we have to get rid of this shit. So they said, all right. So we give him a trash bag. He's got him and his whole family. They send that shit to the Honduras, Dominican Republic, or if they're not flipping this shit. Let me tell you, I've never seen a Mexican move that fast. That dude literally emptied him, and he had like his wife and like 4 or 5 kids. They emptied those 4 bins in about 2.5 minutes, and they come through my line, and they go, oh, $1? And I said, no. I said, I heard you tell that dude, you told my boss $10. Oh, no, too much. I give you $1. I said, no. I said, you are paying $10 or you are putting that shit back. And they took it. I'm like, no, you literally had 4 bins of underwear, men's and women's, probably 2,000 pieces, and they were $1 a piece. And you got the whole bit for $10, and you're gonna sit here and tell me you want it for $1? The hell with you! I'm like, screw you. That shit ain't happening. So that's one good thing. I ain't gotta deal with Mexicans anymore, at least until my next job. You say, hey, how you doing today? Oh, how much? Oh, no. They all do that. They go, oh, no, that no. That's $4. Oh, no. Oh, that's $2. Oh, no. I'm like, 25 cents. Okay. And they all do this. And they'll ring up a $3.42 tab and throw down a $100 bill. And I'm just like, okay. I'm like, you no good motherfucker. And I've called them out already. I said, you serious? I'm like, are you goddamn serious? You're going to give me a $100 bill, and you sitting there telling me you ain't going to spend any money, but you got a $100 bill in your pocket. I'm like, you ain't worked for that shit. The government done gave that to you. Like, come on. You ain't worked for that shit. And that's the thing that pisses me off. They ain't worked for that shit. So they better get what they can now, because them bastards going right back over the border soon. Come January 20th, them some bitches going right back over the border. They're like, see, you catapult these son of a bitches. They're coming in my state. They're all over the place. Like, you go back to, I'm like, this ain't Mexico where you can barter and tell me, oh, we'll trade you a hot dog for a banana. No, this is America. Don't, And the last place I was at where I moved, a bunch of Mexicans there. No, matter of fact, a couple of weeks ago, they're laying this fiber optic cable from my cable company in this neighborhood. So I wake up about 3 weeks ago. I'm going to work. Across the street, there's 2 Mexicans sitting in the driveway. I wake up, and there's a Mexican sitting in my fucking driveway drinking a beer. And I look at him and I go, can I help you with anything? Oh, no speak English. No. And I'm like, can you get out my driveway? Probably. Well, they had a truck. They were waiting on a truck or something. They're all laughing. This dude's sitting in my driveway, sitting in the ditch. And I go, yeah, get out of my driveway. Oh, no. I'm like, get the fuck out my driveway. I'm like, because I was waiting for my rod to pick me up. And I told him, I said, get off my property. I said, hey, get off my goddamn property. And he's like, oh, no, 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 I sit here. And I go, no, I said, and I said, okay, hold on a second. Hold on 1 second. So I went and got my machete and I said, you have 2 seconds to get off my property or I'm calling the cops. They understood that word. Because I'm just like, what the fuck? He's like sitting in my driveway. And I'm just like, why are you sitting in the middle of my fucking driveway? Like, what's going on here? Like, what are we doing? He's just eating and drinking a beer. And I'm just like, are you serious? Are you part of the crew that's laying down the fiber optic? Like, what's going on? Like, when I moved out my other house, I went back to check the mail, and it's like 9:30 at night. And there's 5 Mexicans up in there sleeping. I go, really? Okay. My neighbor, 2 doors down, she's getting her house rebuilt. You know, she's fixing it up. The house next to that is getting renovated. There's like 6 Mexicans there. And it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. They were using her hose to, like, I don't know, take a bath or something, fill up. I don't know what it was. They were using her hose. They flooded the underneath her house. She got up to use the bathroom. She slipped, fell down the stairs. These fucking Mexicans turned all the lights off, stopped making noise, and was quiet. And she's like, I know you Mexicans are in there, you son of a bitches. She's like, I'm calling the cops. They scattered like cockroaches. And, you know, the landlord was like, oh, I'll just pay your electricity. I mean, I'll just pay your water bill for 1 month. She's like, I had to go to the urgent care. I broke my arm. Oh, I'm not paying your hospital bills. The Mexicans can do that. I pay them. And I'm just like, so anywhere you go nowadays, it's Mexicans. They're like the new cockroaches or something. Like, I mean, I don't, and I have nothing against Mexicans, but god damn it, learn the fucking language. It's like, seriously. Like, that's all I see now is Mexicans. I'm like, they must be going to I'm gonna say dirt cheap. They must be going to Home Depot and lining them up or something. And the goal of them, they stealing people's waters. They're using their water and their electricity. And then when someone gets hurt, they turn off all the lights and go, we're not here. No, we're not here. And they're actually sleeping in this building. And I know they don't have permission to sleep there. But they're sleeping in this building. I'm just like, okay. So, I don't know. My team is awesome. The Saints, the Who Dat Nation, the best fan base out there. Yeah, the Saints don't have a record. Hey, Quick Wrench, what's going on? Just bullshit. Another Lions fan in the house. That's 2 of them. It's an epidemic. But be thankful that the Bears suck. And they forgot to count. But yeah, just bullshit and just you know. Uh-oh. Wait, I thought he died already. Really? Oh, okay. I thought he died already. Huh. Interesting. I keep getting these notifications about shit. But I thought Peter Tork passed away already. Maybe I was wrong. But then again, I get these notifications all the time. Somebody, so and so passed away, and I'm like, they died 20 years ago. Chuck Woolery passed away a few weeks ago, and that was a crushing blow, you know, because I bought a lot. I bought some gold because of that. But you know. Let's see. The Lions won something since 1994. They won a #1 draft pick. What are you talking about, Elvis? Shit, the Lions in the last few years have been winning. They've been making up for lost time. So, you know. You know, I remember back in the day, uh, you know, let's see. Hmm. 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 Now, I don't have anything against the Lions. I never did, so I can't be a bandwagon fan. I support my team no matter what. They can go 0-17 or 17-0. I'm a Saints fan. Who dat nation? So, we ain't these fans like the Vikings fans who, when their team sucks, they abandon ship. These so-called Falcons fans that are out there. All three of them. You ever notice when the Falcons actually win, which they never really do, when the Falcons actually win, they have fans. But, like there's one dude on Twitch. He's, there's one dude on Twitch, and he's a Falcons fan. And he's like, oh, my Falcons are great. And I'm like, how long you been a fan for? Oh, a few years. And I go, oh, okay, you must have been a fan when they went to the Super Bowl and got their ass beat by John Elway. I'm just like, So, I mean, hell. But Elvis lives in the past. I want to know what happens when the Vikings are going to lose in the first round to the Saints. I just want to know that shit's going on. So, but hell. I mean, hell. Hell, the Saints, most of the Saints rosters are shit. Look at the Pelicans, for Christ's sakes. I don't even want to talk about that team. I'm done with and the NBA season's 3 weeks old, and I'm already done with the NBA season. Fuck that. We're going right to college baseball. My LSU Tigers are going to win another championship. I mean, I was proud of my team last year, but LSU baseball come February, March, April, they're going to go to Omaha again. Jay Johnson's. We're gonna get another championship. Yeah. Honestly, Elvis, by the time y'all play the Lions again, it's not really gonna matter because it's gonna be the last game of the season. The Lions are already gonna have the NFC Central, NFC North, whatever conference y'all in North, Central. It used to be the Central back in the day. By that time, the Lions are already going to have the division wrapped up. It's not really going to matter. The Lions are probably going to rest all their players, like most teams do. But I mean, I could be totally wrong, and maybe Dan Campbell says, "Fuck it, we're going to play all our players." I could be totally wrong, but I still got faith in my team until the Saints are actually eliminated. I got faith in my team. So, anyhow, we can go on playoff run. Who's to say we don't win 6 in a row and make the playoffs? Oh, goddamn alarm. Hold on 1 second. Piece of shit alarm. Wait up. Goddamn fire alarm. I put a new battery in there and it's still doing that shit. Anyways. I must have the battery upside down. We'll fix that tomorrow. I got nothing to do except move my shit around. That's how I found an old Saints shirt. I found one of my Saints shirts I've probably had in my thing 15 years. It still fits me too, so it's not that bad. But hell, I don't know what I mean half the time. The Sam Darnold train is getting discontinued. I don't know who y'all's backup, but you know. Oh, good lord. So, you know. Let's see. Nope, haven't found it yet. It probably got lost. Well, there's 3 boxes that are unaccounted for. It probably got lost in the trans. You know, it either got thrown in the garbage or the mover stole it. No, haven't found. The Ted Williams was right on top of the Griffey. So chances are I probably lost both those cards. So you're looking at about $200 worth in value. And I mean, I can find them still, but I mean, I haven't went through the box. I have 17 boxes. I've only went through like 4 of them. I can't find my game systems either. Most of them are gone. I found my games, you know. I'm pretty sure the roomie paid the people to toss them in the trash. Yeah, no, whatever. I don't have proof of that shit, but it is. You know, maybe I'll find the card. I don't know. I found all the other cards I have. I mean, like the Barry Sanders rookie card and other stuff, but damn it! See what you're doing, Elvis? You're confusing the Lions fans. What's the matter with you? Elvis is doing his job and confusing the Lions fans in here. Like, I feel like this is an NFC Central debate forum. It's like when I used to do my We Are the Who Dat Nation YouTube after the games. I would always get I would go live and talk about the Saints game. And I would always get the Packers and the Lions and the Vikings fans in there talking about their teams. And I'm like, yeah, we're discussing the Saints. I'm just like, this is a Saints channel. We're discussing the Saints. And like, I always had a Packers fan like telling me, oh, the Packers are awesome. And I'm like, we beat the shit out of the Packers. Like, they're not awesome. Because that year the Packers sucked ass. I mean, like, I was rooting for the Dolphins last night. Unfortunately, no. Unfortunately, Tua decided not to play. So I don't know. You know, but I mean, hell, it's just crazy. But I thought I had that one. Lions are good, but not great like the Vikings. Wait, we're gonna put that up just in perspective. Lions are good, not great like the Vikings. Now even I can get this right. 11 is better than 9. I like right. My math. 11 is a better number than 9 in the win column. In the loss column, no. But 11 is better than 9. I even know that, but you know. But hell, my team should be undefeated. But you know, hey, we had too many. You know, Common Core. Yeah, well, I don't know what the fuck Common Core is. What the hell is Common Core? Like, what did? Apparently, they teach math like differently from when I was in school. Like 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2 anymore. 1 + 1 equals 47. I remember back when I went to school, there was boys and girls. Now there are dogs, cats, elephants. There's like 73 different genders now. It's like I don't know. The world is upside down. Yeah, 1 + 1, 2. Okay. Now you have to do a whole mathematical equation to figure out that 1 + 1 is 2. And then you only get that way because you add 63 different other numbers in the equation. I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, I actually heard about this Common Core. Someone told me one time, oh, you have to do this, this, and this. And they go, okay, when I went to school, we held up 2 fingers, 1 and 1, 2. 2 and 2, 4. We took apples. 3 apples and 3 apples. It's 6. Now it's okay. 3 plus 3. Let's see. Okay, well, 3 plus 3, we break that into 47 different spots. I'm just like, I don't know. Oh, it's crazy. So let's see. Elvis won't go live. You should have made a bet. Like you should have made a bet where Elvis looked like he would have to change his logo to a Lions logo. You would have got him to do that more quicker than a live stream. So man, I don't know what you possibly can do on that, but I guess so. Yeah. Well, let's see. What do we have looking forward to? Well, basketball, the NBA season is basically over. Yeah, let's see. College football, still got a good shot at that. I'm not a hockey fan because we don't have a hockey team, so I ain't worried about that. Baseball season's over anyway, and so I mean the next thing I got for looking to is college baseball. Well, there are some college football teams that are doing good. I mean, Tulane's going to play in the AAC championship. Raging Cajuns are going to play in the Sun Belt championship. So, yeah, I Ochsner Medical Center is terrible. Ochsner is the corporate sponsor of the Saints and the Pelicans. They are terrible. They need to be fired. They suck. They just are bad. Very bad. Terrible. Like, I don't know where the hell he is. Hell, I don't know. Probably sleeping again. I don't keep track where everybody is. He's either on somebody's panel or he's sleeping. I don't know. I don't know where he's at. He might jump on to you. Might be lurking in the background. I don't know where he's at. He's somewhere, but yeah, the Pelicans started off 2-0, and I was like, I don't know what is it. What is it with my teams? They start off 2-0 and they go like the whole Pelican squad is injured. Like we have 13 players on the team. The top 11 players are injured. And of course, it's no big surprise Zion isn't playing because he doesn't play. Yes, Zion is always fucking injured. He never fucking plays. They actually said today he's only played in 42% of the games. He's missed 280-something games out of 500 he's played. Yeah, now he's got a hamstring injury. It doesn't take 3 weeks for the hamstring to heal up. But, a lot of people are saying he was set up to fail in New Orleans because Zion's got a weight problem. He eats it, you see it. I mean, where are you going to trade him to? Trade him to the Knicks where the Knicks suck. Trade him to a team that really sucks. Trade him to the Indiana Pacers. I don't know. I've been saying for the last 2 years we need to trade Zion. I mean, we're still getting draft picks from the Anthony Davis trade. There's like another 2 years of that shit. I mean, if the Lakers suck this year, we can get a top 3 pick from the Lakers because we still got 3 more years of getting the Lakers picks. So the Pelicans have gotten the picks from the Pelicans have gotten the number 1 pick from the Lakers 6 years in a row, and they've traded it every year. I'm like, all right, well, they keep trading them. But, I mean, they're in their top 20, 25, 27. They keep trading them. The last general manager is the one that ran off Anthony Davis. But Anthony Davis, whatever. So we trade Anthony Davis with the number 1 draft pick, and we draft Zion. I'm like, fuck. Dude sucks ass. He's hitting that stripper up. He's like ballooning up to like 600 pounds. He refuses to play. I'm like, okay, back in the day, you don't pay, you don't play, you don't pay. Like, you don't, So, Alabama's still around? Oh, okay. There's no point in rubbing it in Alabama. Well, the Giants are always bad, but Grumpy Stack knows that. Well, we play the Giants, I don't know, next week or the week after, so I'm like, I can't really say too much about Bama because unfortunately, Brian Kelly decided the team shouldn't play that week. But but we did beat Vandy. If that's any constellation, we beat Vandy. Hell, Georgia was down 17-0 to Georgia Tech in the second quarter. I'd be surprised if Yeah, we're not talking about Michigan quarterbacks right now because I got a bone to pick about that shit. Yeah, I got a bone to pick about that shit. Not like just Dave Portnoy, whatever the fuck that little prick's name is, the owner of Barstool Sports. That little fucker ought to be shot, like with a paint gun. What that fucker did to LSU, like, seriously. But it's not going to affect LSU because we got like 15 quarterbacks. But that little fucker single-handedly is trying to destroy the LSU football legacy. And I told him on Twitter, I was like, fuck you, dude. You're a piece of shit. Now, the thing about paying the players, NIL, name, image, license, is you're not supposed to have outside influences paying a team. Okay. Now, LSU easily could have paid $12 million to keep this quarterback. They could have. But you're not supposed to have outside influences, NIL contracts pay you. So, and I don't know if Zanron's aware of this or not, but, we got the number 1 quarterback in the nation. He's from Michigan, by the way, so it's really not a surprise. He signed with LSU, Bryce Underwood. He's like fucking awesome quarterback. He's great. Probably the next Drew Brees, in my opinion. Or at least a JD5. He's got all the big, tall. So he's like, okay, I'm signing with LSU. I'm going to be the future LSU quarterback and lead the title. All right. So the whole time he's with LSU, you got all of these people like Dave Portnoy. You got Michigan fucking calling his ass up, University of Michigan. Got him on bought him a cell phone, like talking to him every fucking day. Oh, we can get you more money. We can get you more money. We can get you more money. So all of a sudden, out of the blue, Dave Portnoy, this fucking prick, so he calls up Bryce Underwood and he says, hey, I'll give you $12 million. You go back to Michigan. And not counting his NIL deal, which is illegal. He don't have an NIL contract with this guy. He's literally like, I'll pay you, because he's a Michigan fan. He's literally like, I'll pay you $12 million to go back to Michigan and sign with them. So what guy's gonna seriously turned down $12 million. So the NCAA is not doing shit about this. They're like, okay, literally, he already signed an LSU scholarship, which means he's for LSU next year. He already signed a scholarship. So they found out a way to break that scholarship. So now this is just what Dave Portnoy is paying him, $12 million. That's not to mention what Michigan's paying him in the background. So I'm really fucking pissed at this guy, and I'm really fucking pissed at the University of Michigan for stealing our goddamn quarterback. Now we have 3 other quarterbacks that are top 10 that's going to be after Nussmeier. So it's not really going to affect anything. But I feel like Bryce Underwood would have been the starter next year probably as a freshman. But the fact that this idiot who owns Barstool Sports, and he even came out and he said, this is exactly what I did. He put a video out on his social media and said, this is exactly what I did. He called them up and he says, hey, I'll give you $12 million. Go back to Michigan. That is against NCAA rules. You can't do that shit. You cannot do that shit. That's fine, whatever. I'm going to end the stream in a minute anyway. But I am now fucking pissed at the University of Michigan football team. They can kiss my ass. They stole our quarterback. So I'm kind of pissed about that now. Well, it's fine. I'm going to end the stream in a minute anyway. If you got to leave, fine. I'm good, whatever. But yeah, this guy specifically does a video yesterday, and he's like, no, 2 days ago, and he goes, this is what I did. He comes out and he says, he opened up the checkbook and said, I got $12 million right here. Now, you can't do that. You can do that if you have an NIL contract, but he has no NIL contract with this guy. So by giving him $12 million, how he got around that rule is he goes, well, I'll just interview him on my channel and we could say he's an employee. But that's fucking bullshit. So, and that's fine. I got no ill will. You know, athletes, they flip people all the time. Whatever. I mean, okay, fine. He's going to play with Michigan. You think Michigan's going to start his ass? Probably not. But you're getting $12 million. I mean, and that's not to go against what Michigan's paying him. I'm sure Michigan's giving him a contract too. So this dude's making multi-million dollars just to flip a team. And that's wrong. So yeah. So Dave Portnoy and the University of Michigan football team fucking suck. I'm sorry, Xandron. They did my LSU team dirty. No apologies. Fuck them. And if LSU plays Michigan while he's there, I hope they run the score up on him. But you know, hey, congratulations, y'all got the quarterback. That's fine. We got 3 or 4 other quarterbacks sitting in the wings. So hey, you know, whatever. It's all good. But why you gotta poach our quarterback? That's just that they do that shit with the Saints too. We get good, and all the NFL teams take our players and coaches away, and then they become good. So I'm just saying, everybody knows you come to LSU, you come to the Saints, you're gonna have a good product. It's only when you start to strip away, you know, because the people they lost the recruiting battle, and they couldn't accept that, so they were begging and pleading. No, we'll just throw money at him until he says yes, and that's what they did. That's what they did. So, you know, it's bullshit. So yeah, that's a rant right there. It's like, all right, don't go after LSU players. They literally sat there and said, no, I'm done. This is, you know, hey, money talks and bullshit walks. So I ain't got nothing against this kid. Hey, I understand it. Hey, somebody offered me $12 million, I'd probably flip too. But then again, see, I wouldn't leave my home state. But that just shows you that Michigan didn't even want to bother with him. It's only that they probably figured, oh, he's going to sign with Michigan, no problem. It's only that he spurned them and said, no, we ain't going to do this shit. So, yeah. So, there's the rant for the day. Anyway, it's 2 hours and I'm getting tired. So, I'm going to wrap up this stream. Probably stream tomorrow or Sunday or Monday or I don't know. I got nothing else better to do right now. So, been a hell of a week. The year's starting to roll. 2025 can't be worse than 2024. I keep saying this shit all the time. Can't be much worse, but yeah, next year just I don't know. So anyway, I'm in the stream. Y'all have a good night. See you later. Bye.